JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 19th of August 2020. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this afternoon's, Wednesday's afternoon session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, some of the charts that we looked at this morning just to see how everything is getting along. But yeah, before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos. And of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top, guys. So yep, and I believe you can find some useful stuff here for yourselves. Now, jumping into the charts very quickly, we can see that here the German index didn't really have much movement. I mean, it did push higher, however, it still remains around this territory. But one positive aspect of it is that it continues to trade above this 21-day EMA here, shown as the yellow line, and above this 12,913 territory, which it managed to overcome again. Now we'll see if the index is able to stay above this today, because yesterday we had a nice push above it higher as well, but as you can see, it kind of failed to close above this barrier, above this 12,913 zone, which is, by the way, the highest point of June. So we need that nice good close above that area in order to get a little bit more excited about higher levels. In terms of the downside, as I mentioned in my previous videos, we need to see a nice daily close below the 12,773 territory here before we could kind of aim for some lower areas. And yep, this way the price would be placed below the 21-day EMA, and potentially more sellers could see this as a good opportunity to step in. Now jumping into NASDAQ 100, and here basically well, NASDAQ managed to create a new all-time high again. It seems that it's no longer something that of too exciting for the market. I mean, the tech stocks continue to drive NASDAQ 100 to the upside, and yesterday we saw the index hitting the and let me just grab a line here. I'll recycle one of these. So it managed to hit this area right here. So the 11,421 zone. So, but then drifted lower, and yep, ended the day around this 11,399 level. So, as I've mentioned to you previously, guys, that the 11,400 level was that level, one of those levels that I was keeping an eye on, because the next one is the 11,500 zone. But looking at the cash index right now, for example, we can see that there is a bit of a correction happening. So we'll see a bit of an opening, an open lower, not where it closed yesterday. So so it's currently, the index is currently trading at around 11,388 zone, so on the cash index. So again, we have around 9 minutes left until the opening bell, so let's see how this is going to perform today. But in order to aim for some higher levels, again, we need to see a push above yesterday's high near the 11,421 zone. If that does not happen, and if then the index stays somewhere around here, then we'll remain a little bit on the neutral side. However, if it starts dropping below the 11,282 territory marked by the high of the 6th of August, then we'll consider a bit of a larger correction to the downside towards this upside support line taken from the low, the 23rd of March. But of course, we need to see a break of this upside line in order to get comfortable with further declines. But again, for now, anything up until this upside line could still be seen as a temporary correction before another leg of buying. The S&P 500. So the S&P managed to create a new all-time high yesterday, but it just peaked fractionally above this previous all-time high, which was roughly around the 3,393 territory, and the index yesterday managed to hit the 3,395 mark. So just by two points, the index managed to create a new all-time high. However, looking at the cash index right now, we can see that the price is currently balancing just exactly near this previous all-time high, near this 3,393 level. So for now, we will keep an eye on all this, and to be honest, for now, I mean, we're gonna remain careful here. If we do get a nice strong move again above this 3,393 territory, then yes, we will aim for some higher levels again. Well, of course, levels like the 3,400 zone, 3,400, that pops in our heads straight away. But yeah, for now, let's not over speculate on this too much. In terms of the downside, as you can see here by the arrow, we prefer to see a drop below the 3,328 territory first here, before, let's say, considering lower areas. And by the time this index could travel lower here towards this level, in a way, and then if it, for example, breaks this level, this probably could also place the price below the 21-day EMA. So something for you guys to keep in mind. So let's see how all this is going to play out. But for now, of course, certainly we need to target the upside again, but we'll be very careful, as we would prefer to see a nice daily close above this previous all-time high at 3,393. For now, we're not really seeing that, so we'll just wait this one out. And if we do see a nice push further again above this 3,393, then yes, we will aim for some higher levels, but we will be very careful. Now, jumping into another index here, DXY, and DXY is moving lower. Yesterday it closed below this 92.55 level. However, this morning when I was saying that, when I was covering this one, I was saying that keep your eyes on this 92.24 level, which is, and let me just quickly go back into history to show you what that level is. It's basically the low of the 14th of May 2018, and currently the index is getting a hold up near this level, as you can see, quite successfully. So let's see if the bulls have enough steam to drive this one back to the upside. And of course, from the technical side, what you could do is keep your eyes on this candle today. If it's going to form a doji, then this could signal a potential reversal. And yep, we could see this one pushing to the upside again. However, if you want to get a little bit more on the cautious side, wait for a move back above the 92.55 level, and ideally a daily close above that area could do the trick for more, for a few buyers. So here, as like I said, it could be quite interesting, but at the moment it's very tricky, guys. On one hand, yes, it could continue moving further south, and it could do that, yes, but it's currently getting a hold up near this 92.24 level. On the other hand, it's also quite overstretched here to the downside, so maybe a bit of a larger move up, a larger up move here could be useful. However, we're not really getting any reversal signals yet unless this this daily candle here is going to form a nice doji here. And basically another thing to keep in mind is this possible kind of, or not possible, but this positive divergence here that's happening. So yep, keep your eyes on this. It could be quite an interesting one, but let's see how all this is going to play out. Now, silver, I've talked about silver yesterday, and I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this 27.73 territory, which, as you can see here, continued yesterday to act as a good area of resistance. We did get an overshoot, but we didn't really get a close. Today we're getting a nice move higher, but of course let's see if we manage to get a nice close above this barrier. If we do, then our next little pit stop could be this this high, this year's current high near the 29.86 level. So keep your eyes on that one. In terms of the downside, we'll take a bit of a cautious approach here and wait for a drop below the 24.40 territory first, and then we could aim for this upside support line taken from the low of the 18th of March. Now jumping into Ripple, and here I've talked about Ripple recently, and what I was saying that if this pattern here was forming a nice bullish pattern, but what I was saying that if the upper side of this flag breaks, then yes, it could travel further north. However, I'm going to aim only initially for the 0.3262 level, and look at this. I mean, this is exactly what happened here. So it tested that level and then started reversing back down. So basically what I was saying then as well, that if it drifts lower, then keep your eyes on the 21-day EMA and of course this upper side of the flag, which all this area could provide a bit of support. So for now it's doing exactly that, because our downside scenario here comes after a break of the 0.2774 level, as you can see here by the arrow drawn, and then yep, we could consider a bit of a larger correction to the downside. For now, any move lower up until this upside line here, taken from the low of the 5th of July, can be considered as a temporary correction. But again, for now, it's quite an interesting spot here. Also, something for you to keep in mind is a possible range pattern here. That's why we do have our breakouts from these levels here, the 0.3262 level on the upside and the 0.2774 level on the downside. Jumping into AUDUSD, I've looked at this one yesterday, and look at this beautiful move, guys, and this is exactly what I was talking about yesterday. So the 1.0994 level, the pair managed to close the daily candle below that area, and look what's happening here. We're getting a further move lower. It's approaching this 1.0921 territory right here. Let's see if it fails to provide support. If it does fail that, then yep, the next potential target is this high, the highest point of June, near the 1.0880 level. I've mentioned that previously as well. So for now, yes, we are aiming for a bit of for slightly lower areas. We'll first be very careful near this 1.0921 zone, but if that gets violated, then keep your eyes on this very strong area of support, potential support, near the 1.0880 level. So slightly below that, of course, you can see that we do have the 21-day EMA, but of course do not exclude a possibility of seeing maybe an overshoot here, a drop lower, and then a false breakout, basically reaching this 21-day EMA and then sharply reversing back above this 1.0880 zone. So again, for now we're looking at some lower levels. Let's see if this pair can actually go a little bit further to the downside. US dollar against the Japanese yen. So this is just a quick update because I've talked about this one this morning, and basically the pair is still stuck near this 105.30 zone. You can see that the rate is still balancing above this area. Now, of course, what I was saying this morning, that as long as it remains in this area right here, we're not really going to do anything, because in order to consider some higher levels, we need to see a push back above the 106 zone, and in terms of the downside, we need to see a drop and a nice daily candle staying below this 105.30 zone, and then yes, we could consider at least initially a move towards the lowest point of July near the 104.19 level. So keep your eyes on those. EURUSDJPY. So this pair is popping nicely to the upside today. The Swiss franc is the weakest one among the G10, and yep, it's now approaching this key resistance level near the 1.0838 level, marked near the highs of 27th of July and the high of the 3rd of August. So the pair is moving nicely towards that area. It just had has a few pips of left from reaching that, and if we get this daily candle remaining above the above this barrier, then yes, the next pit stop for us could be near this 1.0915 level. So keep your eyes on that one. Now, in case this barrier here provides strong resistance and the pair starts drifting lower, now what we could do here and what we could be watching here is this short-term upside support line taken from the low of the 18th of May, and actually it's probably not really a short-term one, but now a more of a medium-term one. So we'll keep an eye on this upside line. We'll keep an eye on this short-term tentative upside support line. Now this one's definitely a short-term one, taken from the low of the 10th of July, but if that gets broken, then yes, like I said, it could open the door towards this other upside support line. But again, for now, we're examining the upside. Let's see how it's going to behave near this barrier here, near the 1.0838 level. If we get a nice daily close above it, then yep, further acceleration here to the upside towards the highest point of June could be possible. And finally, EURUSD. So the pair is, to be honest, unchanged. It's not really doing much. It still remains above the 1.1910 territory, but at the moment, I mean, you can see that the pair is still struggling with kind of getting back to yesterday's high, and yesterday's high was roughly around the 1.1965 zone. So it's struggling to get back to that level, but at the same time the bears are struggling to drop this one lower. So for now, to be honest, we'll still stick a little bit more to the upside. But probably now, looking at this picture and how it's struggling, we'd probably like to wait for a push above yesterday's high first, which is around the 1.1965 zone, and then aim for a further move higher towards that psychological 120 level. But again, for now, it's not really doing much here, so the only thing we can do is for now is just observe the price action. And like I said, yep, if it suddenly drops below the 1.1910 zone again, then well, this is where more sellers could join in here temporarily and drive this one a little bit to the downside. So guys, I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time, guys. If you want to catch my video tomorrow morning, as always, my Traders Espresso, 6 o'clock GMT time. But for now, guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.